Welcome to another episode of Love in Waves. Uh, I have so much to say, so much I think about, so many notes I write down. I don't know if it's the way that my brain works, putting things together, multidimensionality, all of the things, but it keeps me from sitting down and trying to get something linear out to share with you guys, to be of service, to be a help for you along your journey in this lifetime, from why you came in to wherever it is that your soul is leading you. And if you're watching this, then it means there's some sort of a sync up with the way that I think, or it's something about my soul and your soul that is connecting, that I meant to share something with you to help you with that. So I'm learning a lot right now. I've been doing a lot of deep study, which is why I haven't been speaking as much. I'm doing a lot of integrating, a lot of putting the layers together, and really recognizing just how incredibly deep and multidimensional that we are, and how limited it is that we are living right now. But at the same time, when you see what's happening on the planet and all of the darkness that's coming to light, all of the collective disrupt that's showing up in terms of the weather and politics and all systems, like basically every system, is the underbelly, the darkness is showing up. It's coming up to the surface in the collective. And then we as individuals have our own lenses and ways of processing that, dealing with that, living with that, judging or not judging that, and making our way navigating through our lives in this context. And we chose to be here at this time. So I think what it is that I want to share today, that I'm really getting, is that we are, in a sense, as multidimensional beings, which we are. We may only be living in a couple of dimensions, right? Like dimensions 1, 2, 3. I talk about these, the physical, mental, emotional bodies. But we're also the etheric body and many, many, many other layers. And they're almost like spheres upon spheres upon spheres, layers. Okay. And each of these layers is connected to an energy center in the body that opens up and unlocks yet another dimension's worth of experience. Okay. So without going into each dimension and all of that, just knowing that we only experience to the level of dimension that we're able to access. And so when you see, I'm showing this as spheres right now in my little diagram, but what I normally show is the scale of consciousness, right? It's like in the pyramid shape. Not that it's a pyramid, but we think linearly. So I'm trying to give you models the way that we see things here in in this dimension. And so as we move our way up that pyramid of multidimensionality, or through these layers, these spheres, it adds color and dimension and ways of seeing things and feeling things and experiencing things that just grows with us. And a lot of these dimensions have just been blocked. We're not in tune with them. We're not in alignment with them. And when you really just get real with it, like, this is so not woo-woo, because 99.99999% of us is non-physical. And what am I speaking of right now is the non-physical. This is the mystical. This is the spiritual. This is the unseen. This is the fourth, fifth, sixth, so on dimensions that are not tangible or linear. And it's a huge jump to be able to experience life between the two. Now, it doesn't mean you're not always experiencing this, because you actually are. You're multidimensional. You're actually driving your car and then also thinking about the future or the past or what have you. So you are multidimensionally functioning all the time. You're just not necessarily aware of it, right? But to actually not only get aware of it, but then to start working with clearing out the densities, the lower densities, the things that are coming up collectively that we're seeing in the world that are no longer in alignment with growth, with harmony, with peace and love. When we learn to process those things within us and collectively outside of us, this is where we're going. This is what we're being pressed to. This is the spiritual awakening that we're all going through right now. This is also a bifurcation because there's really a splitting off that's going on right now. There's a number of people that are choosing to, I say number of people, let's just look at the whole population. You've got a percentage of the population that is choosing unconsciously, most likely, to stay disconnected from source, to stay in a space of, how do I put it? Hive mind, collective mind, not individuating. It's just staying in those lower frequencies where we are subject to mass control, all of the things that are happening in terms of frequency wars and, all the media and programming and false beliefs and all the fragmentation of our lives and generations and generations, disconnecting more and more from source, which brings us lower and lower down the scale, which just means we're just not as connected. And they are choosing, again, I don't believe consciously, because they're not conscious enough to make that choice, to continue on that path into almost an oblivion and basically victims of the masses, where the masses are going. And then you've got the other side who's becoming more and more conscious, that are questioning what's going on, that are seeing what's happening, that are feeling the things coming up and rising up within them, that are looking at their relationships differently, and tuning into a channel like this or many others where we talk about, what are you judging? Can you be okay with the moment? Can you accept what is? Can you take personal responsibility? All of these things that actually turn your own free will on instead of off, and being able to then connect further and further into these unseen realms, moving towards freedom, towards sovereignty, towards the new earth. Okay. So this bifurcation is happening right now. And I'm not even sure what my point was in this, except that I'm like really deep, like so deep into this journey for myself, obviously choosing to be conscious, to be stripping away all of the distortion within, rising my consciousness to the highest levels, really aiming for Heros Gamos, aiming for that the inner unity, the balance between my inner masculine, feminine, to where I don't see duality in the way I see it. Like I can see it in the world, but I'm seeing it from a perspective of non-judgment, of acceptance, of actual love, even though it may look like something I don't want to participate in certain areas. I can still see it from a perspective of unity, of this is just how things need to unfold and unravel for the greater good down the road. And that's what I'm inviting you to. And that's why you're listening. If you're listening right now at this point, then this is the journey that you're on. And I just want to commend you and thank you and just let you know that like this journey it gets easier, but it gets deeper at the same time. I don't know, there's a momentum happening right now. There's solar flares that are happening. There's volcanoes and like all these devastating weather events that are happening, and hurricanes, and it's throwing people into their dark night of the soul, into those moments of what really matters. What really matters? Is it the little things that are the materialistic stuff and like the achievements and all of the stuff that doesn't go home with you when you leave? Or is it the actual eternal stuff, the who you've become, the how you deeply love, how you love yourself, how you've healed the deeper wounds within you? Is that more important to you? Because that's what's happening. All this stuff it's like in our face to show us that it's time to make a choice as to what's more important here. And I hope that you are choosing to really dive in and be real and be honest with yourself about your life. We don't have that much more time on this planet. I won't go into that right now, but there's cycles. Everything is cyclical, and our planet and our solar system around our central sun and all the things that we see catastrophically happening are part of the bifurcation. They're part of the splitting off of the old and the new. And it is a choice point for us right now to choose. Do we want to just play small and settle, or do we want to step up and really take a look in the mirror and say, am I living authentically? Am I being true to myself? What are the things that I'm doing right now that are not honoring my truth? Am I in my truth or not? You know, and sometimes it takes something really, really big to smack you across the face or whatever, bitch slap you. I just say it's a universal bitch slap. Death in the family, a massive breakup, or like a really, like even just a catalyzing relationship. I work with a lot of people that are in very catalyzing relationship. It could be a diagnosis, an illness, there's so many things that can really catapult you into taking a deeper look at what really matters. And so I just want to invite you to take a peek at that right now, because we don't have time to lollygag around and worry about, the silly things that don't leave with us when we leave the planet. It's time to really start thinking eternally here. What can I do for this soul that will elevate this soul and humanity at large, because we are evolving as a species, and as we split on this planet into those who are not going to step up and those who are, that will affect where we end up next go around. So just a little something to think about. Thank you for being here today. I hope to see you on the next video, and thank you for your patience in my not posting very often. It's not for lack of desire or ideas. It's more just, when does it really need to come out? So I really appreciate your patience in that, and your comments and your likes and your subscribes as well. So if you're looking for some help getting through your journey, if you've been challenged, definitely take a peek in the description area, and you will find how I might be able to support you with the work that I do. All right. Thanks so much. I will see you in the next video.